Okay, you're on the tripod right now, as long as I don't tip it over. And what I'm going to try to show you is how I've been assembling the side frames that are the newer ones that look like the Hudson in New York. Okay, they come in two halves because I have to print them with the detail side up and make sure I get all the good detail. Got a very good detail piece, I think. It's come out very nice, and I'm hoping that you guys can appreciate that. You have to put in the bushings first, and you put them in where they're going to be soldered, but we're not going to build any of the wiring right now. All I'm doing is gluing the two halves together to make sure that the two pieces are aligned. I like it this way. I know it doesn't matter, but I just do. And I've tested this, but I'm going to test it again. I like to make sure that all the things fit and snap in, and they do. Okay. So, get my little marker out of the way. I use, it's a new type of a glue. It's a super glue gel from Gorilla, whatever. He's been around a while, but it's new to me. And what I try to do is I just tap it, I squeeze a little bit and tap it. And since it's a gel, it comes out thick, it doesn't run, which is what I like. And I just tap it and squeeze and go around the edges. I don't want it on the rivets, but I wanted it in all of the flat places. I'm holding it with a screwdriver because I held the first one with my hand, and it took me 2 days to get the glue off. Alright. Tapping, tapping, getting glue down. Well, a little more over here. That's a big thing. You want to make sure that gets good. And you're tapping. This is a gel, so it is pretty thick. Now I put the lid on. It doesn't want to dry out. And I set it in a way that it's the tip is down. Then I get my side piece and I make very careful alignment, and I want to make sure, of course I'm talking now, so it's all together harder. I want to snap it down and together, and I did it. I almost did it. I'm not doing it. One didn't snap. I don't know what happened. Hey, yo. I don't know if I'm in trouble or not. I can't tell. It's not, it didn't snap like I wanted it to. I got it talking and carrying on, but we'll just see how it works out. It looks like I might have to drill that one a little bit. I can't tell if it's off. It looks like it might be, oh shit. It looks like it might be off. Son of a gun. I think it's too late. I think it's too late. No, it's not. It went right in. Okay, good. Good. Oh, I was worried. Okay, so once it's pretty well in position, I try to get these out so that I don't glue them in. I don't want to glue them in. There we go. Don't stick to anything, damn it. And then I try to get this one out. There we are. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so now what you have is a really stiff side frame with lots of good detail. If you notice, these are the ball bearing caps. I've got the radiuses, the frames for the bearing housing. This one is rounded like on the Northern Hudson. This one is square. I've got these little bump outs. I got those put on properly for whatever they are. Now these little nubs are, I need those for clearance to get my brass piece in. I'll show you what that is. That's for the pivot part of this thing, okay? So that's my third one. Boy, I'm glad I got that thing in there. It's a little nervous. All right, let's try one more so you can watch how this process works. I'll try to make it a little smoother. I don't know. I get nervous under the lights, I guess. You know, the camera, I'm afraid you're seeing the top of my head or something. You're gonna see my tattoos. I'm teasing, of course. Okay. Oh, one came out. Here he is. I like them to poke out so I know they're aligned, okay? And then when I put this on, you can feel it when you're there. Yeah, it's there now. No, it's not. This one falls out. Why is he falling out? The same one. Oh, there it goes. There they go. Okay, they're in alignment now. I separate them. I keep them down. I do the same thing now. I get this out. I get my hold down piece. Start tapping and squeezing. I find this works the best for bonding these pieces. The glue works fine. The problem is I'd always get too much or too little. This allows me to put down just exactly the right amount. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, you let go. Good, thank you. Put this lid on again, like I said, keep it aimed. It might be done for now, but I don't know. Now what I'm going to try to do is line this up a little smoother than I did before. I want you guys to know you too can do this. There we go. I could hear it. Yep, it went in. Very nice. Okay, then you give it a good 5 or 10 seconds, I guess. You just want to squish, make sure the glue is dispersed and not lumped and everything is flush. Oh boy, is that nice. That is really strong. The two pieces with the seam make it really strong. And these were printed at 100% infill, so they're dense plastic, but you know, they're not a big part, so they're not heavy or anything. It doesn't take that much material, but boy, that's going to be a nice stiff frame. Now when you make these, you use them in pairs. You all kind of know that, right? And they're spaced out on the pivot frame. And so the pivoting part is going to be at one of these two holes. You could, if you wanted to, I suppose, you could do all 4 holes, but you know, these little pivot, oops, got the wrong size. These are, I'm kind of running low on them, so I'm going to get a little cheap here and just put 2 where I need them, and that's it. Okay. Now I have soldering iron, and it's up pretty high. It's probably too high, but I clean the tip as good as I can. I don't really want solder on this tip now. I just want it to be hot. And what I do is there's a smoother side and a narrow side. So I take the larger smooth side and I put it right on my soldering iron tip, and I just aim for that hole there, and I guide it in, and I get it just before it's all the way, and then I press it down on a piece of flat wood, and that makes sure it's perfectly flat and square into that opening. Now, I'm making this because somebody suggested I can assemble them if you just send me the parts. Oh, well, you know, seeing somebody do it sure makes it easier for you. So I'm going to show you guys how I do it. Now, everybody has their own trick, their own tool, their own whatever. This is what I'm doing. You know, I'm not sure about this one, but I'm going to go with it. Okay. That's what we like, nice and flat. And I calibrated the spacing on the pivot truck, so there should be enough room, as long as I've got the rigidity in the assembly. When it's assembled, this joint should be snug and rigid, and there shouldn't be a lot of wobble. I'm going to rework my four-wheel trucks the same way. So now these are ready to set up my jig over here and wire set the wires up, junk everywhere, and create the little harness that I push in the rivets, and I run the wire out the top. So there's a pigtail that's going to be coming out the top of here. I don't know if I have anything I can use. Give you a little show of that. Yeah. So this would come out like this. Okay. You would strip some of this off. You would solder it. You would solder it like that, I guess, okay? Just like that. Solder it right onto that. Then you would pull this up, and then you would push this into its opening, and there's a notch there for the wire. So then the wire would come up. And I would strip it further up here. I'd strip it like from here down, and then I would do the same here. I would put that wire, solder that wire, bring it over here, solder it onto the side of this brass piece, and then push that brass piece in the hole, and then the wire would fit right in here. There's enough cavity designed in for the wire to go in here, solder here, go here, solder here, and boom. One of the things I've had happen is when I'm soldering this piece, I have to be quick about it, and I have to have everything tinned so the soldering process goes quick, because I had the problem of unsoldering this brass bushing when I put these two together, and I don't want that to happen. I've given myself a lot of room in here, so I'm hoping that I can get all this done neatly. And then this, oh, not with the angel hair hanging off of it. Then this was going to run up, run down the back. There's going to be an opening, and then it will pop up, and it will go to the rectifier to convert the AC to DC, and then out to the power requirements above the tender. This is a different tender, but this shows you how we do it. This is a wheel thing, but see, these are going to be here. It's going to look like this, and then this wire would run up there and go into the opening, and then when it comes up here, it comes out to this track piece and gets soldered in, and these are the rectifiers for switching the power from AC to DC. So this is how you build these side frames. This is how you would solder them and build them up. I'm not going to video the soldering. It's pretty straightforward. You see what it looks like, and I'll show you the finish when I do the final assembly. I'll show you everything how it looks. Okay, so I hope that's useful for you guys. Part of what I wanted to share was how to, when you use 3D printing and you have detail on both sides, you know how you can work that, and that's by cutting the part. You can actually slice the design in half and put the sliced part down so it's going to be flat, and then you build up all your detail with your 3D printing. When you glue them together, you have some means of alignment. It really holds well. The plastic does well with super glue, and it's real stiff. It's real strong, very strong. I'm very pleased with these, and I'm very pleased with this design. This is my third iteration. It always seems to take me 3 times to get it the way I want it. I finished this one this morning after several days, and worked on it some weeks ago, and I had to come back to it and finish it up for Leon needs these. So these are going to be Leon's. I'm going to mail these out tomorrow, I think. All right, that's going to be it. I'll show you more later. Now, I don't want to fall off my ladder getting up to my tripod to shut this off. There should be a better way. Thanks for watching, guys.